It's time to have a meeting.
What's up?
Just a minute, Gracie. Why don't you take a seat?
At our hexagonal table.
It's a perfect hexagon.
All right. Fun time's over. I want to know what's going on, and I want to know now.
I have no idea what you mean.
Nor I.
Then let me give you a clue. Earlier today, I had a certain unpublished manuscript in my room. Someone took that manuscript, and that someone was...
Well, we saw Mosley leaving the room with it.
So it certainly seems like it was
Mosley.
him.
Shortly afterwards, it was stolen from the first thief by
Madeline went into his room, so we think she did it.
Madeline Bouthane.
The things she's willing to do to get
The
her hands on a
second thief
manuscript.
couldn't hold on to it
Yeah.
either. It was stolen for the third time by
Now, Grace saw Bukele leave with it.
Vittorio Buccelli.
And the third thief disposed of it by
He buried it. We know that. We dug it up.
burying it.
Really?
Yep.
But this is slanderous. You cannot prove a word.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he can prove it. Every one of you left prints.
Santa cielo.
Merde.
I admit it. I did take the manuscript, but I didn't do it for my own personal gain or anything. I'm,
My arm is curiously
I'm
deformed.
CIA.
Yeah, that's weird.
Aha! That explains it.
Outrageous!
Outrageous? Why is that outrageous?
God, Mose. Congrats.
Thanks.
Mademoiselle Bouthane, what's your excuse?
I do not know what you mean.
Don't you? Let's consider the fact that you have way too much equipment for a tour guide.
But I am technically minded.
And lethal. My guess is French Internal Secret Service.
You are much too smart for your own good.
Oh, and you, Signore? Or should I call you Father?
It is not illegal for a priest to travel without a collar.
Oh, but you're not just a priest, are you? You came on a train from Rome, yet you lied. You said it was Naples. Why tell such a pointless fabrication unless you were hiding something? Like the fact that you're with the Vatican.
That is not a crime either.
But stealing manuscripts is.
Perhaps it is time for you to reveal your secrets, Gabriel.
Sure. I'm
Former
a
werewolf.
private investigator. I'm here about the kidnapping of Prince James of Albany's infant son.
James Stewart's son has been kidnapped?
When did this happen?
Man, you
You
guys
really
don't know
didn't
crap.
know? Either of you?
No.
Certamente no. I came only to report on any activity in the area. The Vatican feels that there are certain subversive parties who are trying to fabricate stories. Perhaps even go so far as to stage certain finds.
Like Fox News.
Plant material. Naturally, the church is anxious that anything of the sort be prevented and exposed.
Perhaps you are right, Signore. But we believe that there is something buried near Rennes-le-Château.
That's why you were given this assignment?
I have been watching Rennes-le-Château for a few years now. There are certain political interests involved. Interests which might not be working for the long-term
skin
stability
looks
of the present French government.
So you never noticed that there was an entire winery full of vampires?
Archaeological discovery to be made here. Such findings should be controlled by the French authorities. We want to make sure nothing gets smuggled out without our knowing.
There are
I thought you
fucking
needed
vampires.
excavation permits to do any serious digging.
Hypothetically, but several parties have
Did the
applied
people
for
who
permits.
modeled these
We can
characters,
only
had they
deny them
seen
for so long.
humans?
Mose?
The CIA thinks there's something going on over here with the Freemasons, the Priory, and the Knights of Malta. You name it. We've got to make sure our interests are being protected. You know,
Okay.
the good old US of A. Oh, they sent me on a tour as a kind of an audition, I guess. They didn't want anybody with legit CIA credentials. You know, anyone who could be traced. But I'll probably be starting full-time when I get back.
And the digging, monsieur?
Oh, intelligence got that tip from somewhere. I was just supposed to, check it out.
So it was the CIA who infiltrated our computer system. We thought it was the Priory. It is not the first theory we have had, I am afraid. Our cipher experts work on it when they can, and it appears this was another failed attempt. Right, monsieur?
I sure didn't find anything.
And now we can go, yes? I assume you have not found your kidnapper among us?
Doesn't look it.
Yeah, I guess the average computer in 1999 could only handle that many polygons. I don't know.
You were very masterful. But,
Everything.
you have not gotten everything from me yet.
Oh God,
Everybody
lady,
looks
You should
horribly
come by my
deformed.
room and try
have
a
some
little harder.
self-respect.
Hmm?
Ugh.
And I always thought the idea of chastity belts was cruel and sexist. I finally get it.
I doubt they invented one strong enough for Madeline.
What?
Thanks for finding the manuscript.
What?
Where was it?
Does her vagina have
He buried
superpowers?
it out in the valley. I saw his moped from Blanchfort.
Good job, Grace. As usual.
Prince James is at the Villa Bethania. He wants to see you.
I bet.
And there's some real progress on the treasure. With Sydney, I was able to...
I'll, come up later, okay?
Suit yourself.
Yeah, they didn't talk, so I don't know how Gabriel would know that Bukele had the manuscript, but I guess that's maybe they chatted off screen or something. And I think that games like I said before, like Silent Hill came out around this time, and it looked about like this, I guess. And like Metal Gear Solid, you'd find that the face is basically just like one texture on a flat.
I think
Like
you
Max
could
Payne.
do that.
That must be
better
Prince
than
James's
I did,
car.
though.
No, I mean that's as good as you can do it.
Larry's
Really?
here.
Yeah, with that many polygons, there just wasn't. I don't know. It's hard to remember back that far, but it was pretty rudimentary.
Like, so they wanted Gabriel to have cheekbones, but he looks
Yeah.
like a mutant.
He does, but he looked like enough like a person at the time. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Not do that.
It wouldn't
Excuse
run.
me, Mr. Arnaud.
I think it was like a management level decision for Sierra. They were at the time like
Mr. Knight.
like King's Quest came out, and
I've
it was
been meaning to ask you something.
And what is that?
I've been meaning to ask you about your association with the Priory of Sion.
Where did you hear such a thing?
Prince James's men? See, I'm working for Prince James. I came here to see about the kidnapping myself.
I see. Well, I'm not really surprised, though I would have expected more polish from Prince James's agents. Ce n'est pas d'importance. You will learn nothing from me. The Priory would never stoop to kidnapping a child.
And tell me, what sort of things would the Priory stoop to?
I have nothing to say to you about the Priory, Mr. Knight. But whatever you hear from Prince James, remember,
Like, his face
it is
isn't that
their
bad.
side of the story.
We're only seeing him from one angle.
Excelsior Montreux, the owner of Chateau de Serras. Is he a Priory member too?
Not at all. Why?
Oh, just wondering.
Okay, so he's a weirdo and not in one of
The
these
Priory
places.
does have issues with Prince James, though, doesn't it? Political issues?
What could you understand about such matters? We have been working for centuries to get the bloodline on the throne of France.
Not true.
Do you know we almost succeeded? Marie Antoinette was Desposny, and she had a son who would have been king. But the damned revolution ruined everything.
Yeah,
sure did kill her.
revolutions can really fuck up your long-term conspiracies. I take it the Priory doesn't like the idea of the Stuarts regaining power.
In Scotland, perhaps. Not in France. Not over the European Union. The Habsburg-Lorraines are a much more critical line. Besides, we could hardly accept a Scot on the throne.
It's true.
I
They're
see
dirty
your
people.
point. Oh, those bagpipes can get annoying.
That's correct. That would be awful.
The Priory's trying to get official permission to excavate in the area, isn't that right?
Yes, but so are the Freemasons. Naturally, we have an advantage being French.
And what exactly are you planning to excavate?
Far more learned ears than yours have been denied that knowledge.
Really? Including yours? Have they told you what it is?
Really? Quel toupet.
What did you just say to me?
So there
Get it
really
too
is
big?
a treasure?
Huh.
Beyond
He seems
measure.
to have enough hair.
Well, so why don't you just go in and take it?
The Templars lived a long time ago.
You don't know where it is, do you?
Nope.
There are certain disadvantages to keeping information in the hands of a chosen few. When the French Revolution occurred, the Abbé here was the guardian. He was forced to flee to Spain. His records were lost for decades. Then Saunier rediscovered them. He was a greedy bastard, and he was tormented by the Great Secret. He offered fragments of the documents for exorbitant sums. He fabricated and destroyed evidence, and died without revealing what he knew.
That's why you've leaked information, isn't it? You hoped someone would solve the riddle for you.
There is a season for everything, and the season for the unveiling is coming very soon. One way or another, the treasure will come to light.
What is it you're so determined to unveil?
One day soon, you shall know.
They built
Now
a
excuse
thumb
me, Mr.
twiddling
Knight.
animation.
Oh, and I do wish you luck in finding the infant.
I seem to remember that like King's Quest VIII came out, I think it was, and it was like, it was all in 3D. It looked even more rudimentary like this, and it was like an action game. It was like running around with a sword. It was really, really a bad misstep, and I think it tanked really bad. So
I do appreciate your
many
returning
reasons
the
why
manuscript,
Sierra
Mr.
closed
Knight.
its doors.
If I'd known what Mr. Sinclair here was up to, I wouldn't have taken it in the first place.
Well, what's done is done. But I think it's time we had a serious conversation.
Absolutely.
I got choked up there.
So, you think the kidnapping is a response to Sinclair's manuscript, to its positioning you as the head of the bloodline?
It's not just the manuscript, but yes.
Have you received any demands from the kidnappers, or...
No. Look, I'm willing to give up my claim forever if that's what they want, as long as my son is safe.
Nice
But we don't
tie.
even know who to contact to make such a concession. The Priory swears they're not responsible, and no one else has come forward.
Yeah, it's because it's not that.
I'm at the end of my rope.
Perhaps it's not political.
If I let myself even consider that it might be the night visitors, I can't imagine what they would want with...
I'm sorry.
Night visitors.
I
Can we
know
just
how
call them floating
awful
blood-sucking
this is.
assholes?
Hmm.
French
Do you
blood-sucking
consider yourself
assholes.
to be a bloodline descendant, Prince James?
Well, it may sound foolish to you, but a belief in our lineage and the responsibility that it brings has been the motivation behind everything the Stuarts have done for centuries. You see, we take our heritage very seriously.
You realize that monarchs are not a thing anymore?
What are these negotiations between the Freemasons and the Priory about?
Because of our common heritage, there's certain wisdom and property that's shared. And now that the dispute over the bloodline heir is coming to a head, these things must be settled.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to get permits to excavate out here, aren't you?
I don't know where you heard such a thing. But I admit we have been hedging our bets, in case negotiations go badly.
Where are you going to
What
dig,
kind of
dude?
property do the Freemasons have?
We have a few of the treasures that have always been sacred to the descendants of Moses.
Like what? The Ark of the Covenant? Something like that?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, fuck
But
off.
the bloodline treasures are dispersed. Whoever takes the mantle, in the end, will want them. All of them.
People are getting on my nerves.
What about the Priory? What do they have that you want?
The Priory controls the treasure the Templars couldn't take with them to Scotland because it was embedded in the very landscape.
The treasure of Rennes-le-Château?
Yes, but they're not to touch it until we've agreed on a treaty. You see, we have things they want, too.
Yeah, we know that.
Does the grapevine motif mean anything to you? Viticulture in general?
Yes. The wine of communion represents the blood of Jesus, and the grape represents his body. And the grapevine, in some circles, represents the desposony, the house of David. You have heard Jesus called the fruit of David, I assume.
Of course.
Where did you see such a motif, Mr. Knight?
Oh, it's in the church.
What about my son, Mr. Knight?
Haven't found
I'm
him
willing
yet.
to tell you certain things, but Please, have you learned anything new?
I've narrowed it down to a few suspects. In fact, I was going to follow up on that right now.
Very well. Mesme and I will continue our own efforts. We'll see you back here this evening, then.
Absolutely. And, try not to worry.
I do appreciate your tenaciousness, Mr. Knight.
Tenacity.
Yeah?
The word is tenacity.
I've had shots for that, but never mind. I'll see you.
That's hilarious. So my theory for how this game came
An
about.
extraordinary man.
Yeah, he's made of at least 50 polygons. My theory is that the two parchments that were faked that were in the game added up to saying a message which is blue apples, and that's not fake. That actually is what people think is in those documents. But those documents are a hoax. And so I think when she saw that, she thought, oh, winery. Okay. And that's the idea for putting the winery in. I don't know if there are any wineries in the Languedoc, but that's my theory for where this all came from.
It looks like an
the
empty
damn
plastic
place in
water bottle
France?
to me. It's gotta be Estelle's. Lady Howard's lips have probably never touched plastic in her life.
Is it nailed down? If
No.
not, you should take it.
We saw it in the previous, we saw that she had it by the dig. So this is actually, I think, other than Emilio, this is the only print that we don't have. And there's one...
Got it.
I believe that the only print that we haven't been able to match was the one on the envelope that Le Serpent Rouge came in. So we still don't know who gave us Le Serpent Rouge, but we know it's probably not any of the characters except Emilio or Estelle. We don't really know why Estelle would have had it or Emilio would have had it. So we can scan that print in. But of course, Gabriel will then say that he's not computer literate enough to do the analysis
To press
himself.
2 more buttons.
Yeah, no, it's too difficult. He will type a short... It's actually 9 characters, so I don't know what the... Oh. Will he do it? Maybe he... Oh, I'm just linking it to her file. Anyway, so you get points for that. Yeah, of course, all of this stuff is totally invented. The prior Scion didn't exist until 1967.
I'll go.
It's a total fabrication that it existed before that. Well, I think we're pretty... I don't think it's a spoiler at this point to say
Horticulture. It's kind of fun, except for the fact that you actually have to take care of stuff after you plant it.
that did not need to exist.
Now that is downright rude.
Yes.
They're closed.
Place is locked up, so let's go ahead and just climb over because we know now that they are vampires and we are completely stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could climb over the wall anywhere else. It does not look tall.
Nope, gotta go through the front gate.
I believe I have climbed walls taller than that. Somewhere else, maybe not in very clear view of the front door.
It's Marceau.
Yes.
The chateau is closed, Monsieur Knight.
Yeah, that's why I
noticed.
climbed the gate.
Well, I didn't see a buzzer down at the gate, so I had to come up. Now, I hate to bother y'all, but I'm leaving the area today, and I really need to ask Mr. Montreux just a few more teensy questions. Oh, please.
Oh, wait here.
I think this is pointless. How do we not think that they're the vampires? We know that Mallory and McDougal were here. We know that the sedan went off in this direction when we tried to chase it. What is there left? I mean, the stuff that Grace found in that room, the weird ritual. I don't know why this bears further investigation.
My apologies, Mr. Knight. It is a very bad day for visitors.
Why? You're written to suck a baby's blood?
This is probably really inconvenient, but I'm leaving France today, and I was hoping to feature Sarah's in my article. You made quite an impression on me.
Did I?
Oh, yeah. What I was really hoping was to snag a few more bottles of that Merlot. My editors won't let me give anything 5 stars unless they've tasted it, and boy, that Merlot deserves 5 stars.
Oh, well then, I applaud your taste. Of course I can get you more bottles. I'll have Marceau open the tasting room.
Actually, I'm guessing, well, you guys have a wine cellar. Am I right?
Yes.
Could we go down there and get the wine? It'd make a much more romantic opening for my article. I could just make it up, but as you said yourself, God is in the details.
I don't believe I said that, but I couldn't agree more. I'll take you down myself.
Oh, wow. I knew this place would be great. I was reading about those Roman mines they had around here. Does this cellar attach to anything, like that?
No. Ah, here it is, the 76 Merlot.
I've been thinking about what you said. About how the breeding of grapes is like the breeding of people.
That is not what I said.
Oh, it's a terrific analogy. Maybe even the angle on my new story. So, would you say this Merlot is like, say, a king of wines? Or just a gorgeous camel? Look at that. God, am I an idiot?
No, please, don't bother. It's...
Ow!
Oh, my. Cut yourself.
Oh, it's nothing.
You are asking about the wine? No, not a prince. Our little Merlot. Then again, it's not exactly wine in the box either. But yes, it's eminently drinkable.
Right. Oh, gosh, look at the time. I have that flight to catch. Thanks. See myself out.
I changed my mind. I think this guy's innocent.
Yeah.
So, was he supposed to have, tasted Gabriel's blood?
I wonder if there's any chance that dog could be...
And decided
I can always try.
It was worth killing him? Because they didn't bother to drink Mallory and McDougal. And we know that they don't subsist on blood. They only drink it to get power from people.
Hey, it's open. Uh-oh.
Just run away. There's like a huge expanse. That sounds kind of batty to me. And black sedan. So that checks.
There's some bats.
This doesn't exactly seem like a smoking gun.
What's up there?
I mean, a black car.
Bats. Oh, most bats are harmless.
Yeah.
Most sacred. After tonight, the adepts will converge.
Maybe stay in the garage.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Okay, well, anyway, Gabriel overheard what they just said, which is the adepts are assembling.
Voila, Mission
Nice hair.
Knight. What are you?
Look, it's the lad from the train.
Well, that's an easy way to solve that.
Go somewhere cars can't go?
There's a little bit of a plot hole in this. Oh, end of the episode.